we're talking about Meshes of the Afternoon.
Ah, indeed, yeah. Not a cartoon, but also, like, I guess, uh, surreal. I would actually say that this is probably more surreal than the cartoons are.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. This is not depicting uh it's not depicting any kind of reality that I'm familiar with.
Mm, mm.
So this is kind of, yeah, surreal is the word. I'd say it kind of fits pretty squarely in that surrealist zone, a la Un
Yeah,
Chien Andalou and L'Age d'Or.
yeah, it definitely if not directly inspired by that film or, like, other Louis Buñuel or Salvador Dali stuff, it feels sort of a piece with that. I think
Hmm.
it feels like it's kind of using film to make a similar kind of art as those guys were doing.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation with this movie is. I had never really heard of it before, but it is
Same.
kind of weirdly broadly known, I think. Like, it's on Letterboxd, it has like over 100,000 watches, which is pretty rare for stuff this old.
Yeah,
Um
it's the most popular film on Letterboxd for 1943, which is
yeah.
surprising. I mean, on one hand, it's also like 43 doesn't really have a lot of like huge kind of seminal
But keep
foundational
listening,
movies.
folks.
I mean, I'm not saying that the movies are bad. I'm just saying that I feel like none of them are like this like tower, none of them are like Casablanca or
Yeah.
you know, whatever. No other examples that I can think of.
Yeah, this one I something about it, I kind of wonder if like maybe it's like a film school staple or something, and that's
It
why
probably is, which is kind of weird because I went through 4 years of homeschool, never
you
saw it, never I don't
you went
think
through
I even
hella
ever
film
heard of it.
school.
Yeah, so much film school. I did watch Ancien Andalou in film school more than
Mhm.
once, but yeah, never this one.
But yeah, this movie is direct oh my gosh. This
It's
is
directed by
a
sort
duo.
of a married couple, Maya Deren and Alexander Hackenschmied. If I completely butchered that name, I apologize to anyone with a similar sounding name. I clearly did not look this up ahead of time.
Although like later in his life he went by Alexander Hamid. So that might be a little easier.
Alright. We'll use
Um
the anglicized name going forward then.
Um, but yeah, this is a movie that is it's got like it's a bunch of imagery. It is originally intended to be 100% silent. No accompaniment, I believe, was
Which
designed to
which
go with
is
this movie.
how I watched it.
Me too. And I was like, whoa, blast from the past here. Like I'm having to like really concentrate.
Yeah, which I kind of like about that it does, at least in the context of how we watched it, it, like, really locks you in.
Yeah, I watched a bit. I watched a bit of it again later, and I watched a version that had a score, and I almost found the score a little bit too didactic, a little bit too much like it
Mm.
was imposing a certain meaning on it. Uh,
Right.
and yeah, I think this is like mysterious enough that it kind of does work really well without a score.
Yeah, there is definitely something to just presenting the imagery without any sort of sound or music to really kind of give you let it land however it's going to land with you,
Hmm.
which I think is really the intention of this movie. I think it is narrative vaguely, but I think it's much more about sort of like here is a
Maybe you
bunch
can tell
of
me what happened then.
uh, there is I don't know. There's a person with a mirror for a face, which I
So
thought
cool.
would make a great slasher villain.
Yeah.
Like if there was a slasher movie about mirror face, I think it'd be pretty good. Um,
And if you defeat that villain, then you get 7 years of bad luck.
True. So it's hard to get away from mirror face because if you kill mirror face, you get 7 years bad luck. But yeah, as far as I know, the small amount of reading I did on it, I think this was just like shot in Los Angeles, like at their house. It's only Maya and Alexander appear in the movie.
Mhm.
Presumably, one of them is playing mirror face also. it's got a real kind of like I don't know, like cyclical like repetition thing where like
Yeah.
something will happen to I guess the lead character played by Maya Deren, and then she will sort of observe that happening from afar also. So it's it's got this sort of like to put it in like I don't know, sci-fi terms, it's got kind of a I don't know, time loop sort of thing going on.
Yeah, although I don't think it's, like, that specific. Yeah.
Right, yeah. It reminded me a lot of I mean, just David Lynch in general, but,
Yeah.
Mulholland Drive in particular, one because of the, like, Los Angeles-ness of it and also the repeated use of, like, keys. Like, keys are a big thing in Mulholland Drive also, and just the general sort of, like, spooky vibes, I guess.
Yeah, it's spooky vibes. It is, like, the one that I heard with the score, it was in, like, a score that was like, "This is scary and disturbing," and it's like, I feel like, the imagery does well enough of a job of giving you
Mm.
this kind of on edge feeling. It feels like a nightmare, basically. And
Yeah.
I think, like, there are ways that you could see this as, like, following in the footsteps of an Un Chien Andalou, but I feel like this almost is like the mold that people have shot dreams in since, right? Like, it's doing its own thing, but it feels like a dream sequence in a movie, but it's like a
Mhm.
long thing that is a a bit disturbing and has a bunch of, like, really kind of, like, loaded imagery in it,
Yeah.
that I think you can take other meanings out of, versus, like, you know a, a a dream in a movie where someone's dreaming about the specific thing that they're thinking about, in order to and you show the dream in order to show their inner turmoil about that thing.
Mhm. Um, yeah, but I mean, much like how dreams often are, it's sort of like all this stuff, and you're kind of left at the end of it being like, "What? I'm not sure if I understood all of that, but it got me. Like it was
Yeah.
cool." Like I could definitely see someone describing this to me as a dream and being like, "Yeah, that sounds like a dream."
I walked into my house, and my shadow picked up the key, and I found a knife. But then the key came out of my mouth, and then
The
there
key
was
was also the knife, kind of.
and then there was a nun with a mirror face, but I was kind of her, and then there was
Right.
another of me too, and I was sort of falling sideways through the stairs.
There's also a lot of slow motion in this, a lot of overcranked camera.
Hmm.
Which I still like from kind of the beginning of filmmaking has been a thing, but I still feel like, especially in this kind of context, I haven't seen used quite as much. There's actually another movie we'll talk about in a minute, one of the features that also uses slow motion in a way that I kind of think of as a more modern, not invention, but just like the use of slow motion in this felt distinct for the time in which it was made, I guess.
It's selling it as a sort of internal experiential effect. Like,
Mhm.
how does watching this slow motion footage make you feel? It's not depicting. I don't know. It's not depicting, sometimes slow motion is like representing your experience of time slowing down when
Mhm.
you experience something, but I think this is even something else. It's just like, um it's just doing it to give you a feeling. And you mentioned Lynch, and since he died, so many people have been talking about, like, the things that he does, and about how, you know his movies maybe aren't supposed to be, like, understood or gotten. They're supposed to be, like, felt, basically. And
Mm,
I think
mhm.
that is what's going on here.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I'm curious, like, what I don't feel like I have, like, a strong, like, take on what this film's imagery is supposed to represent necessarily. I mean, some of it is kind of, I guess, a little obvious of, like, knives are scary.
Yeah,
Um
the flower is
Right.
one,
Oh,
certainly.
yeah, that one's sort of obvious also.
Hat tip to Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know, cool movie. I
Yeah,
dug it.
it's a vibe. I think it goes on the list of silent movies to put on in the background of a party.
Yes. Ooh, yes. It should definitely get added to that list. The other thing it did kind of remind me of is one thing I did in film school is like they might not even do this anymore, but like one of the early things, like they just give you a 16 millimeter camera and a roll of film and like go shoot something. And I feel like a lot of people who who are presented with that often make something like this.
Hmm.
They're just like a bunch of surreal imagery. It's shot on black and white film. It's short. It's like it's kind of just like I don't know. We're playing around. Everyone shoots something in slow motion just to see how it looks because it's like, hey, you can do that with this. Great, let's try it. That being said, if I saw this as a student film, I would be like, this person it gets a good grade. Like I'd be very impressed. But it does have a little bit of that kind of rough around the edges. Like, yeah, I mean, it's two people making a movie in their house.
It's my
Um,
understanding that there were parts of this that were sort of made up on the fly too.
Yeah. But I don't know, I also find that kind of charming about it, that it's, like, clearly made by just 2 people, and there's, like, not a lot of, greater, I don't know, like, production to it.
Yeah, indie film
It
didn't
feels
start in the 70s.
it feels very handmade, if that makes any sense, because I feel like when talking about filmmaking, handmade is like, well, how's like, you're still just using a camera, but
Now I'm trying to think of like what handmade film would be. Uh,
I
probably
it's
like
stuff you develop in your own bathtub? I don't know.
or rather than shooting it with a camera, you kind of like just kind of smear your hands on the emulsion of the film, and then that's what it is.
I mean, there was that animation that we watched that was all like charcoal, like shifting, like
Yeah,
charcoal drawings and stuff.
yeah.
I guess that's kind of handmade.
Wallace and
That's just
Gromit.
animation, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's a cool movie. It's hard to say much about it, like you were saying, but it is. You feel it. You
Yeah,
go, ooh,
yeah.
scary mirror person.
I think
Ooh,
it is. Yeah, it is a movie that I think
seaweed.
should be approached first on vibes more than anything else, and I think it succeeds at creating uh interesting, cool, spooky vibes very well.
Yeah, I think there's probably a way that you could read stuff. I mean, there's definitely a way that you could like read stuff into the symbols and everything in it, but
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough for that.
It also it's funny, like, how much it all feels immediately, like, symbolic, right? It's like the key is clearly a symbol, the flower is clearly a symbol, the knife is clearly a symbol,
Yeah,
like, the mirror face is clearly a symbol,
yeah. There's a lot of
all of the doorways, all of the staircases. Can you hear the massive,
yes,
sort of traffic
yeah.
horns outside? Okay.
Traffic horns. Yeah, I mean, like you're talking about, yeah, the symbols are clear because they hit them hard. They repeat them over and over and
Mhm.
over again, which is
Yeah.
part of I think like what makes them feel potent for sure. Um I guess like one is like this kind of seeing and being seen, right? Like she is
Mhm.
like she is doing things and then perceiving herself and then perceiving herself, and then there's also like somebody with a mirror for a face, uh
Mhm.
like looking back, like she's looking back at herself kind of thing. I don't know exactly what it's doing with it, but it's some
Yeah.
consistency, I suppose.
Yeah, that's definitely I think at the core of I don't know what I assume is kind of the intent behind it.
It helps give it this kind of like paranoid feeling too.
Right, a lot of looking over shoulders and
Yeah.
right, just like seeing yourself like disembodied is a kind of a spooky idea, right?
Hmm.
Like it's something that I guess outside of a mirror we never experience. Or watching a movie, I guess that's the only other time we perceive ourselves
Mm.
in the third person. So maybe there's something there too. Our
Well,
movie's just a ghost with a mirror for a face.
Ghostface? Is this the first Ghostface?
Mirror face is the original ghost face.
That 1 week, 1 year merch coming soon. We have a T-shirt that says "Mirror Face is the original Ghostface." All right, we're getting too far into this.